Welcome to Bimini, the island in the stream.
It's early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm just getting my documentation ready to go and try to clear. And rather worryingly, I can't find my original boat registration card, which is probably required, or possibly required. It looks on the website, it says bring in your documentation original, and I only have copies, so this could be a short stay in the Bahamas. Let's see. Phew, hopefully crisis over. I found the registration card. Okay, just about to head out. Look at that clear, crystal clear water. Sun's tied up okay for the minute. This is the Blue Water Marina inside North Bimini Island. There's a big shallow lagoon over on that side of the channel, and then up there is the Big Game Marina where I tied up last night, and down here is the channel entrance. Can't get away from Ernest Hemingway. I guess we're following the same path. Maybe I should write a book. So now I'm walking to immigration first, drop the documents, and then go to customs, just in case it helps people in the future. So I went to the marina office. They gave me an immigration form and a manifest to fill out, which I did. Then they sent me to the first place I have to go is the immigration office, which is this big pink building on the main street. But you actually have to use a side entrance up there, and then go and knock on the door, and the gentleman takes your card and stamps it and passport. Now I head to the Big Game Reserve, Big Game Marina, which is where the customs office is. Heroes Park, so the immigration office is directly opposite to Heroes Park. Okay, that was a very friendly guy in there. So that's it. Checked in, have my cruising permit stamped, and I have my fishing permit, regulations on the back. This is the Big Game, so this is the customs office, and this is the Big Game fishing resort, which I might come back to for lunch. Oh, look at this. Dr. Martin Luther King stayed there. Alright, so now back to the boat. So I'm checked in. Next thing I've got to do is put up the courtesy flag. So I'm checked in. Bahamas courtesy flag is up. Before I can go and explore Bimini, there's a few boat tasks I need to do. Number one, I've got to refill my diesel jerry cans and use them to refill the tank. I'm doing that rather than going to the fuel dock because I want to filter it, whatever fuel I get from here, I want to filter it through my Bahamian filter. And I guess I got to sit down and put a list of things I need to do, because I can't think of them off the cuff, but I know I've got a list. I always think the key to a good to-do list is to start off by putting some stuff down that I've already done. That gives me immediate satisfaction and kind of gets my train of thought going. Okay, I filled up the 1 gallon left over from yesterday's jerry can, and another 5 gallons, which I think came from Grand Isle, so back in November, and there was a fair bit of sludge at the bottom. I've squished out the sludge, and that's the mixture, so I'm going to let that settle. This is my Bahamian filter, which is basically an oil water separator and charcoal filter, I guess. Dirty fuel in, pure fuel out. But so I filter everything through this, and this is why I'm going to do jerry cans from the fuel dock here, because then I can filter it using this, and I'll accumulate the sludge in one of those and then find somewhere appropriate to dispose of the sludge when I can. That's that fuel gauge. Okay, so just under full. And now I'll go down and actually have a look at the tank itself to see what that looks like. This is the fuel tank. So when I checked it before, the fuel level was down here, and now you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I can see that it's clear there, not clear there. So that's, what, about 3 inches? Yeah, so that's about 3 inches to go. So now I will put another couple of gallons in from the next jerry can and see where I'm at. So first I've got to take out this filter. There we go. So I can get my siphon hose all the way down. Move into position. So that's the fuel cap there, undone. Now I put the Bahamian filter, goes in there. Siphon. That end goes in there. That end goes in there. And all you do is shake that a few times. Steady flow of diesel. Much more pleasant than having to suck down a mouthful of diesel using traditional siphoning technique. Okay, so now it's full almost to the brim. There's a little bit of air in there I can see. So when I was originally doing my research for coming to the Bahamas, I don't know, it's a bit windy now, might not be able to hear me. When I first did my research, I was planning to stay at a place called Brown's Marina, which has the advantage of being the first one you get to, so easier to find. But I went to a talk at the Miami Boat Show, a lady giving a talk about cruising the Bahamas. She said she recommended this place. One of the reasons is because it's got a pool, and that is where I'm going right now. Oh yeah, that is fantastic. So I've spent the afternoon going over an idea of an itinerary, and what I've come up with is this. So I'm currently here in North Bimini at the Blue Water Marina, and the general plan, obviously depending on weather and all that kind of stuff, is to leave here, go south, anchor in this place called Honeymoon Harbour at the top of Gun Key, then go to Cat Key and anchor there, and from there I will cross the Great Bahama Bank, and these are the Berry Islands. Then I will go round the Berry Islands, Chub Key, and there's lots of little anchorages along here. Then cross over to the Great Abaco and kind of go around the bottom up here, and then enter into the Sea of Abaco, to come in here and then just meander up all the way, yeah, probably up to about here, and then work my way back down and go back across from here back across to Bimini. Now I need to look at the weather, and over the next few days, obviously tomorrow is a big blow, so I'm not moving here until Monday at the earliest, probably maybe Tuesday.
Now time to get out and have a wander around the island, starting with the local wall art and architecture.
That's the back of the Big Game Club. There's a nice little bar there. I wanted to get a beer,
But they said they only had Heineken or Guinness, and that means imported beers, vastly expensive, I guess. So I will continue on.
oh, look at that. So 50 miles that way is Miami. And 50 meters that way looks like somewhere selling alcohol.
Cheers. Welcome to Bimini. I'm sure my camera work won't do it justice. There seem to be an awful lot of people wandering around or driving up and down in golf carts. A lot of them look like tourists, but I've no idea where they're going or where they're coming from.
I have seen a couple of these huge mounds of conch shells.
This is the world famous Dolphin House and Museum, but it's closed right now, despite the sign saying open.
The Big Game bar and restaurant, bar and grill. These are not my boats down there.
So it's a great facility here, pretty nice, sure, but I've just checked up the rates online and it's $4.75 a foot, so that's more than, yeah, that's 4 times the price of the marina I'm staying at next door. Yeah, that guy
At the end, the super yacht, I'm guessing around 100 foot-ish, maybe 120. It's 120 foot. At the T-bars, or the T-ends, it's actually $5.75 a foot. So that's $750 a night for that space. I'm guessing we can afford it.
The big blow has now arrived, just as expected. I'm glad I got in well ahead of it. You can see how well protected it is inside compared to outside. So I'm doing my laundry and I'm cheating a little bit, but this is my washing machine. It's called a scrubber. It's from Australia, I think. I bought it a few years ago. Brilliant idea. Basically you put your clothes in, water, detergent, roll it up in this waterproof bag, you let all the air out, and then you just roll it around. Then you take your clothes out, replace the water, rinse it with fresh water, repeat, and your clothes come out clean. It's amazing. I think that's good enough for me. It does in 2-3 minutes, but alright. Laundry done.
Next task on my long list, most of it's getting crossed off, is to clean the speed log. So the one on the left is the speed log and the one on the right is the depth sensor. So unscrew this, pull out the log, and then this blanking plug goes in its place. Okay. There we go. Now put the blanking plug in. I don't know if the blanking plug has a particular that's right direction. And then close that. Okay, it doesn't seem too dirty actually. This is a toothbrush exclusively for cleaning stuff like this. There, look, see? I'm getting seven knots when I spin it. Okay, so one of today's tasks is to rig my fishing pole. I've got my instruction book, the Cruiser's Handbook of Fishing, which I've skimmed. It was a bit too much. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty thick book for figuring out how to tie a lure onto a rod. So, choice of which lure. So I'm going to start off with, I think, one of the squids. Pick a squid, any squid. I'm going to start off with the blue one. Okay. Now just trim the end without stepping on the hook. The weather's calmed down, so I've just left Bimini, closely followed by the Sumat super yacht. So that's the Sapona wreck behind me. A couple of sailboats up there, and the Sumat super yacht just is heading up there as well. And you know, I don't know who owns it. I mean, it's a beautiful boat, but whoever owns it or whoever's driving it, I have to say, in my opinion, is a bit of a dick, because they came barreling past me at a fair old rate of knots, about one boat length away while I'm sailing. And then they cut in front, went round, big circle, and then came through this gap in the rocks to get up to the wreck, which is fair enough. But they could have given me a much, much wider berth at no significant cost to them. So, just my opinion, but I think you're a dick. Okay, there's not really quite enough wind to sail. I'm only getting about 2 knots. Might have to put the engine back on. But, you know, give it half an hour. It's only 9:30. And so time to try some deep sea fishing. So in light winds, the autopilot often fails to hold the jib. So if it kind of loses track a little bit, then it just blows round, heaves to, and gets stuck. I don't have enough way on to keep going, so I'm going to have to turn in a big circle. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay. Back to the fishing. Okay, I'm anchored. The anchor seemed to be set pretty well. However, I think I screwed up because I forgot to reel in the fishing line. So there's a possibility that when I was reversing to set the anchor, the fishing line might have got caught. I lost the lure. It's broken somewhere. I'm probably on the prop. So anyway, I've got to dive the anchor, so I'll have a look at that at the same time. What a pain. Okay, going in. It's not super warm. Okay, so the fishing line is wrapped around the prop, so I'll need to cut that off. Let's go check on the anchor first and then come back to that. So it's in a big patch of sand, looks well buried. I'll dive down and give it a tug. Alright, that felt pretty well set. Now I'll go sort out this prop business. Okay, so I think I've got everything. Pretty much everything I can anyway. There might be a bit of stuff inside the bit where the prop shaft is held, but I can't get any more into there. That's some of it. I think that's most of it. Hold on. So that is definitely a lesson I don't want to learn twice. What a blinking idiot. What a way to start my Bahamian adventure. You can see why most people choose to fly here. I just wonder how the next few weeks will go.